Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my infertile sister name my baby? I 30F am currently pregnant with my first child, and what should have been a happy, private journey with my husband has turned into a long, exhausting emotional war with my older sister, who is 33 and has struggled with infertility for nearly a decade. I have always been supportive of her. I drove her to appointments when she didn't want to be alone. I cried with her after failed IVF rounds. I defended her when people made insensitive comments. But nothing prepared me for how this pregnancy would twist our relationship into something I barely recognize. When I announced the pregnancy, she cried and hugged me, but the hug felt desperate, like she was clinging to something she couldn't name. I brushed it off at first because grief and joy mix strangely when infertility is involved. But then she started inserting herself into decisions that were not hers. It started with nursery themes. Then baby clothes. Then whether I should breastfeed or use formula. I thought she was just excited, and I tried to involve her without letting her take over. But things escalated when she said, completely seriously, I want to name the baby. At first, I laughed because I thought she was joking. She wasn't. She said she had names picked out for years and that, since she couldn't have a baby of her own, she deserved to experience this joy through me. I told her gently that naming our child was something my husband and I deeply valued and had been discussing for months. She immediately got emotional and accused me of being insensitive to her struggles. She said letting her choose the name would be the least I could do after everything she's been through. I told her I love her and understand her pain, but that naming my child is not something I could give away like a sympathy gift. She stormed out of my house, saying I had no idea what loss was. I thought she would cool down, but instead, she escalated. She started telling family members that we had agreed to co-name the baby. Suddenly, I was getting congratulatory texts about the beautiful name your sister picked. Even though we hadn't shared any name at all. When I confronted her, she insisted she only said that because she assumed I'd come around eventually. I told her she needed to stop telling people things that weren't true. She said I was robbing her of the only motherhood experience she'll ever have and that a name is just a name to me but everything to her. That was when I realized she didn't see boundaries anymore, she saw rights she believed she'd earned through suffering. My husband was furious. He said we needed to set a hard line because it was clear she wasn't handling this responsibly. But I hesitated because I didn't want to be cruel. My sister has always been sensitive about her infertility, and I didn't want to be the reason she spiraled. But 2 days later, she posted on Facebook, publicly, that she cannot wait to meet baby, name, using the girl name she had picked without asking us. She posted ultrasound photos she screenshotted from our group chat, claiming she was already bonding with the niece who carries the name I chose. My phone exploded. People congratulated us. People asked if the baby was already named. Some even joked that my sister was going to be the real mom anyway. I felt violated. It was like she had hijacked my pregnancy. I called her immediately. She said she didn't understand why I was upset, because the name she chose was beautiful, meaningful, and better than anything I'd come up with. She said naming my baby was a healing experience for her, and that taking it away would be like ripping her heart out. She ended the call by saying, "You owe me this after everything I've suffered." That sentence flipped a switch inside me. I realized she didn't see this as my pregnancy, she saw it as her emotional compensation. She saw my child as a replacement for the one she couldn't have. She saw me as a vessel carrying a dream she felt entitled to shape. I finally told her, clearly, that she will not be naming my baby, that she needs to remove the public announcement, and that if she continues this behavior, she will not be involved at all until she can respect boundaries. She screamed, cried, and called me heartless. She told the family I was punishing her for being infertile and that I was weaponizing motherhood against her. Some relatives sided with her and begged me to let her have the name because it means so much to her, but others were horrified and said she needed help processing her grief. The worst part? She still refers to the baby by the name she chose, even though we made it clear that is not the name we intend to use. She tells people she is the emotional mother and that she and I share this baby. It has gotten to a point where I am genuinely worried about how she will behave once the child is born. I don't want to exclude her from my life, but I also cannot let her rewrite my pregnancy into something that belongs to her. So now I'm stuck wondering, am I the a-hole for refusing to let my infertile sister name my baby? Or is she using her pain as a weapon to cross boundaries no one should cross?